Hello everyone. Today in Oban High School we held a business breakfast for our local businesses, organisations and companies, representatives of whom came to gather and discuss and exchange experiences of being a partner of Oban High School. Thereafter they manned a stall each, so we had 42 businesses in our games hall, and each took the opportunity to share experiences, share a wee window into the life of working in these businesses, these companies and organisations. And so can I say thank you very much for everyone who came along and shared their experiences with our young people. Without hearing from the businesses, the companies and the organisations, it's quite hard for a young person to know about the wide range of opportunities available to them in the local area and indeed the national arena. I'd also like to say a special thank you to all those who you are about to see on the screen, who I am about to interview. I'm going to ask them about how they got to where they are today, about their life journey. I'm going to ask them to sell their business and their organisation, their company, and I'm going to ask them to tell you how you could go about getting a job in their environment or with their company. So I'm going to pass over to all my willing volunteers just now, and I hope you find this session informative and enjoyable. Thanks very much.
I left school at 18. I had made a little bit of a mess of it. I had 2 hires under my belt, was predicted to do medicine, was obviously not going to do medicine with 2 hires. I then worked in hospitality mainly alongside some other jobs, went to Italy for a few months and worked abroad, then came back, and I always remember my mother said to me, one day Arsling, you're going to be very bored, and how right she was. So when I was about 25, 26, I applied for a job in the hospital, became a laboratory technician, and then became the first phlebotomist at Oban Hospital. And then after a while, that also, I got a bit bored doing that. So one day I was driving past Oban High School and I came in and asked what hires I could do, and did modern studies and higher philosophy, went to Glasgow University, did a degree and joint honours sociology and philosophy, and became a teacher. And then I am actually a qualified RE and modern studies teacher. However, I was offered the chance to run a programme called Pathways, and 10 years later we have grown and grown to include things like foundation apprenticeships, Scottish baccalaureates, we do wider achievement, we do work experience, flexible learning plans, and it's a role that I love and just keeps growing. So if you wanted to come and work in the school, there's a lot of different roles within the school. We have people that work in the canteen, we have clerical staff, janitorial staff, we have an incredible team of ASN, people who work with children with additional support needs, and then we obviously have our teaching staff. If you are interested in becoming a teacher, come and work for a year as an ASN. You couldn't get a better experience of what it's like working in a school than working as an ASN.
I'm Olivia and I'm a duty manager at Coolmore. I'm a recent uni graduate and have been working for Coolmore for the past 5 years on and off, and recently came back after I graduated and worked my way up to management.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm the restaurant manager of Coolmore. I left school when I was 16. I was working in the Waterfront Fish House while at school, and when I left I continued to work there, where I managed to gain qualification in SVQ level 7 in hospitality and supervision. I then moved to work in Coolmore when I turned 17. I ended up getting a supervisor position there, and then at the age of 18 became the restaurant manager, which I've been doing for the past year and a half now. Yeah, that's my story.
Coolmore is part of a bigger company owned by Paul Sloan. There's multiple businesses throughout Oban and in some cities like Glasgow, Edinburgh and Aberdeen. Coolmore is quite a close-knit team. We're quite inclusive towards all ages, ranging from 13 to 50, and we're inclusive towards LGBTQ. We work quite closely with Pride Oban as well.
So the application process is easy. You're welcome to pop in and see us, we're happy to sit down and speak to you. We're given a wee application form just so we can get to know you a little bit better. You'll be able to come in for a trial shift as well, but we'd obviously speak to you about that when you come in. We're currently hiring people for doing some running jobs, which just is clearing tables and getting to chat with the customers, making desserts, along those lines. But in that position you're able to progress up to taking orders from customers and then progressing even more in potentially supervisory positions as well.
I'm Mark, I'm based at Dunstaffnage Marina. I started off when I was 16 when I left school, pretty much assisting on the pontoons at the marina, serving fuel, picking up litter, just pretty much basic stuff. I'm now part of the management team 20 years later and in charge of 4 people below me. At the marina itself we have a total of 250 yachts and pretty much is looking after the customer side of it, anti-filling their boats, stepping the masts, unstepping the masts, preparing them for sailing, pretty much looking after them, ready for the customers to take them away for their holidays. The organisation started in 1997 from what I believe, and we have engineering teams, we have GRP repair teams, woodworking teams, and it's pretty much a small business with a small group of different qualifications. We are looking for a new engineering team and a GRP team, because the people we have just now are pretty much almost at retirement age and we need somebody else to take up their role.
So my name is Liam. I'm an apprentice joiner at TSL and my journey began in the Fort William College. I'd done a year there testing out all the different construction skills, and then from there went on to work experience for 2 weeks and got offered a job 4 days in. And from there I'm now up in college in Inverness studying for the next 2 years. So TSL offer many opportunities for obviously new people to join. They offer like courses for mental health and bits like that, but they're mostly started off as a quarry and mull and now are building affordable housing for new homeowners. So I believe we have job offers in joinery. We're looking for joiners all the time. I believe we've got apprenticeships in both joinery and site engineering. There is also work going up in the offices as well.
I'm PC Bruce Wilmer, I'm based in Oban. I've been in the service for coming up for 3 years. I joined when I was 21 years old, left school when I was 18, went through farming for a few years and then decided to join Police Scotland. Working in Police Scotland, it's exciting. Stressful at times obviously because you have an array of different instances that you have to go to, but in a whole it's a good job, well paid. You get to deal with a lot of very nice people. The amount of not very nice people you deal with is such a small margin within your job. You deal with a lot of lovely people. Our job at the end of the day isn't just crime. There's a lot of different situations we're put into. Helping older ladies, obviously that's a stereotype, but yeah, so many varied situations put in, but it's good and whole. Yeah, of course. So you can join Police Scotland at the age of 17 and a half. You can't actively do the job until you're 18, but you can apply. It's all done online at the moment. So you visit Police Scotland online, you create a profile on the website, and you just fill out the application process, and that gets the ball rolling. After that, you go through all your steps. You've got various exams and assessment days, all of which are easily completable if you're suitable. After that, you spend 3 months at Tullyallen, where you learn all the basics of policing.
Hi there, my name's Ewan Diven and I'm a crew commander with the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service. I started off my career in the fire service in 2005 when I joined the on-call division in the east coast of Scotland in Dunbar. So I was an on-call firefighter doing alongside a carpentry and joinery apprenticeship, and enjoyed the fire service so much. After the 3 years I decided to apply for the whole time, and I became a full-time firefighter in 2008. So I started my career off based in the Edinburgh, capital of Scotland, and then 4 years ago I've transferred to Oban. Yeah, so fire service is a really, really diverse role map. The whole perception of the fire service, just attending fires, is no more but a fire and rescue service. So we do a lot of rescues from road traffic collisions. We do a lot of water rescue incidents. We also do line rescue incidents, and of course we're now FPOS trained, which is first person on scene. So we do any medical intervention until any ambulance service arrive, and of course we've got fires. Big part of the job as well is stopping the fire from happening in the first place. So we've got protection and prevention, where we go around to people's homes, fit smoke detectors to people who's vulnerable, and give them some fire reassurance. Yeah, so with the Scottish Fire and Rescue Service, we are continually doing an open recruitment at the moment, and to look for a job for that, you would go on to My Job Scotland, where all the active positions are. It's also a good idea as well to pop down to your local fire station, have a wee look about, and the crews that are at that station will be almost more than happy to show you around and assist you with the recruitment process.
My name is Kate. I'm the nursery head at Stramash Outdoor Nursery in Oban. I left school at 16. I did a BTEC in hotel catering and institutional management. I then went to university and did hotel management and business studies, and worked in the hospitality industry for a few years before moving to Scotland, where I got married and decided to go into childminding. So I was a childminder for 13 years. As part of that, I did my SVQ3 in childcare, and then joined Stramash as a practitioner and worked my way up to a senior practitioner and then to nursery head. And to be nursery head, I completed a degree in childhood practice. So Stramash is one of about 50 outdoor nurseries now in Scotland. Stramash itself has 4 nurseries spread across Scotland. We are early education. We are very much play-based and place-based, so very much involved in our communities. And we are the first touch that children and parents have with education, so it's very important that we get it right, and that we are developing our 3 and 5-year-olds and getting them ready to move through the education system. So all 4 of these Stramash nurseries offer apprenticeship opportunities. If you visit the Stramash website, you'll be guided to information about what an apprenticeship involves and where to apply for that. If you call your local Stramash, so if you call us in Oban, we welcome you to come down and have a look around, and we'll chat to you about what the opportunities could be for you.
Is Misha Katie agus sé cóircha grí tréní hinnim le leisach skill na halpa. Ha mé bhí gopa le leisach skill na halpa nó SDS mas dóchas aine gaibh sin son bliana go le níis. Ha mé gopa le duine de gachis an scóil agus tebe mún scóil agus bí sin na toirtaite do gine de gach Ha mé cuteach a dul an olhaid agus bí mi I gceonchuch nuair a ha mé gopar agus bí mi cuteach a deanú in cuasa san teach an cuteach bí leischuch skill na halpa a toirt an chom go son in opar olhaid acham I dheanú tronteach an cuteach. sé dóis ganneil ha seo son éonschuch nuair a ha mé gopar cuteach agus ha mé tór Ionschuch le bhí y gwper ag yn yn aln. Ha leslie sgil na halpa mar a hwyr smee tors taith do dynnu dy gach ys van aardschool gu in de week joch dy gach ys. Bis yn tors taith do gynnu son yn sgil yn hen o lesach agus bisio tors corm do gynnu na hoplich yn ha iets yn y geri ein agus bis yn tors taith gaif ag gach pars jyn tourist a hasyn jyn sliasyn cyjoch. Bi leslie sgil na halpa y cwr bisachach mi ein oprichen yn larach lín acin agus cyjoch sy'n corsnoch. Bi leslie sgil na halpa y tors mór an corm yn dogynne son na sgil yn kjarst ionsachach tro Frentsochen no mar hameisha gyanu tron olhai agus cyjoch lefi torst oper dogynne ha stocha y golchen olhai mar agus stocha gyfel yn utas kjarst achge mar agus swn haif gir yn oper a hosachach leslie sgil na halpa ach a tor corman awn ag leslie sgil na halpa is ma had dynne son oper son leslie sgil na halpa swn haif y cort yn larch lín acin agus na hoprichin eikin yn sin.
Okay, my name's Carrie Craik and I'm a paramedic for the Scottish Ambulance Service. I left school when I was 16 years old. I went on to do a college course because my thought was I was going to become a teacher, but then I changed my mind and I ended up actually coming back to Oban High School and I worked here as a classroom assistant for 10 years. And then I worked at Glencruiton Hostel for 5 years. And then I decided I wanted to follow my dreams of becoming a paramedic. So at the age of 35, I applied to go back to university in Glasgow and do the course to become a paramedic. You can't just go straight in and be a paramedic. You have to do technician first. So I did my technician year and then I did my paramedic year. And for me to be able to do that, when I was working at Glencruiton Hostel, I did a HNC and an SVQ4 in health and social care, and that's what gave me the qualifications to go forward and apply for the ambulance service. And I've now was a technician for 4 years and I've now been a paramedic for 2 years. So I've been with the Scottish Ambulance Service for 6 years in total and I work in Oban Ambulance Station. So I love working for the Scottish Ambulance Service. No two days are the same. You go into work and you don't know where you're going to end up, and especially being rural, you can end up anywhere in Argyll and Bute, and sometimes you even end up down in Glasgow. But yeah, it's a very fulfilling job, knowing that you can go out and help people and make somebody's day that's probably one of the worst days of their life, make it a wee bit better by helping them. So currently they've started where you can apply to do paramedic science degree, and I think there's 5 universities in Scotland that do it, and that's the pathway into the ambulance service at the minute.
My name is Cara Duncan. I left Oban High last year and I did waitressing for 6 months, and then I seen an opening out at Glensanda for Aggregate Industries to work in the office, so I went and done that. So I've been there for 3 months doing administration.
Hi, I'm Gregor Hutchison. I'm the Marine Operations Manager at Glensanda Quarry. I left Oban High School about 34 years ago. I started off in the hospitality industry with my family's business. Then I had a fishing boat for a few years, and I seen an opportunity as a trainee boatman at Glensanda. I've been there for 20 years now and worked my way up from a boatman to the Marine Ops Manager. I've recently completed my Harbour Masters diploma and I'm looking to progress into that position in the future. Aggregate Industries is quite a large player in the UK, employs about 5,000 people. Glensanda itself employs 200 people. We are the biggest granite quarry in Europe and we put out about 7 million tonnes of material a year. that ranges from the gravel in your driveway to armour stone, which is used for coastal defences. There is various apprenticeships that we run. Recently we've had engineering apprenticeships, we've had electrical apprenticeships in my own department as well. We've done a marine apprentice scheme, which is the first time we've ever done that. We've got a young gentleman in there just now, but through that as well we also managed to find 2 young ladies who we took on as trainee coxswains, so that's been a good development for us as well.
So I'm Victoria and I am the store manager of Boots in Oban on George Street. I started my Boots career about 10 years ago as a Saturday girl in Glasgow Airport. I then worked my way through my healthcare course. I then did an assistant manager course, then I did a store manager course, and then 3 years ago I moved to Oban to manage the Boots on George Street. And all in all, it was all in-house training, and it all took me 10 years to move from place to place. So it's a good opportunity for people who want to stay close to home and also to do some in-house training while getting paid. It's not an apprenticeship. You get an NVQ at the end of each course, so there's a lot more opportunity to progress through the different kind of levels of pharmacy and as well leadership and retail. So we're currently recruiting for customer assistants for the retail side of the store, but because we have a full contract store, which means we cannot open the store without a pharmacist and use the healthcare counter without a pharmacist present, there will be an aspect of healthcare training involved in the customer advisor role. The shop down in Slaughterby Road as well, they're recruiting for a trainee pharmacy advisor at the moment, and that'll obviously be through, and you get your NVQ at the end of that. It roughly takes about 6 months to complete it, and you're getting paid along with your working as well.
Okay, I'm Erin McCauley. I left Oban High School I think 5 years ago now, where I actually worked for Scottish Sea Farms while I was at school, but I was a cleaner. And then when I left school, I went to do business management, and that's when they moved me into the HR department, where now I'm a HR administrator for Scottish Sea Farms. So Scottish Sea Farms, there's many different jobs within the company. People think when you think of Scottish Sea Farms, you're like straight away salmon, you're working with fish, but it's complete opposite actually, because I've never touched a fish the whole time I've worked there. They have many different jobs. We have a freshwater facility in Oban, that's where we just started growing our fish. But then we put them out to our sites, where there's also a lot of people working on our sites, and then they go to work in our processing factory as well. We have IT department, HR department, finance department. There's just many roles within Scottish Sea Farms. Okay, so we have engineering apprentices that come up all the time. We have plenty of them. We also have jobs in our processing factory that come up weekly on our page. That gets updated every week, so there's plenty of roles there as well. Our freshwater hatchery as well. We also have jobs that come up there too.
I'm Emma McPhee. I'm the crewing coordinator at Jiffmar Scotland, and I started off as an office assistant there just after COVID, and worked my way up to crewing coordinator where I am today. So we're split into two. We've got diving and we've got vessels. So we're owned by a parent company called Jiffmar France, and they have got boats all over the globe. As it is right now, we've got boats out in Taiwan, Italy, France, Netherlands, the whole west coast, Shetland, Orkney, Aberdeenshire, just boats everywhere, and dive teams all over the west coast. Yeah, we're advertising right now for an office assistant based in Oban, a trainee diver, and a dive coordinator as well as an engineer. The diving spot, we could take anyone from 16 onwards. We've just put a 16-year-old through a apprenticeship with his diving, and he's now out in our dive teams as a fully qualified diver.